You guys want to go ahead and stay to the end of the article since I will be reading off some statistics about chain migration. Now these stats and statistics are coming from the Center for Immigration Studies, link in the description if you want to check it out. Every year, about 1 million new legal immigrants or lawful permanent residents are admitted to the United States. More than 10.6 million immigrants were admitted from 2009 through 2016, roughly around the same time Barack Obama was first elected to the presidency, according to the Department of Homeland Security statistics. This report examines the scale of chain migration and recent trends of family sponsorship over time and across different groups of immigrants. In addition, we examine how an amnesty for beneficiaries of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, also known as DACA program, is likely to increase chain migration in the future, as DACA participants eventually qualify for citizenship and the opportunity to sponsor their parents and siblings, many of whom also have been residing in the United States illegally. Over the last 35 years, chain migration has greatly extended new immigration. Out of 33 million immigrants admitted to the United States from 1999 to 2016, about 20 million of them were chain migration immigrants, roughly around 61%. Judging from preliminary administrative data, approximately 1,125,000 legal immigrants were approved for administration in 2016, which is about 7% higher than 2015, and one of the greatest numbers in the last decade, thanks Obama. According to the most complete contemporary academic studies on chain migration, in recent years, each new illegal immigrant sponsored an average 3.45 additional new illegal immigrants. In the early 1980s, the chain migration multiplier was 2.59, or 30% lower than it is now. One of the top illegal immigrant sending countries, Mexico has the highest rate of chain migration. In the most recent 5-year cohort of immigrants studied from 1996 to 2000, each new Mexican immigrant sponsored 6.38 additional immigrants. So for every one immigrant that comes in, he or she might bring in and is more likely to bring in 6 other illegal immigrants with them. Enacting an amnesty for roughly 700,000 DACA participants is likely to add double that number in additional immigrants because of chain migration, as the amnesty participants sponsor their parents and other family members. Congress could mitigate the chain migration impact of a DACA amnesty by eliminating and/or scaling back the 3 main categories of chain migration: parents, adult sons and daughters, and siblings of citizens. If the controversial visa lottery program also were eliminated, legal immigration would be reduced by 20%. The number of current DACA participants is roughly around 600,000 or closer to 700,000. Like other amnesties before it, a DACA amnesty would inevitably create a new surge of chain migration. This is because the vast majority of the DACA participants originally arrived with their parents, and these parents plus any siblings typically are living in the United States illegally. It is reasonable to assume that the DACA amnesty grants would seek to sponsor their parents and non-citizen siblings at the earliest opportunity, which would be as soon as they obtain citizenship under the rules the Democratic Party is trying to push for. So what is this study trying to say to us? It is saying that over the last decade, since Obama was president, there has been a boom in immigrants coming into the United States. And it even states this: more than 10.6 million immigrants were admitted from 2009 through 2016, which was around the same time Obama was elected to the presidency. But not only that, the administrative data believes that there were 1,125,000 illegal immigrants returned to citizenship in 2016, right before Obama left office, which is a 7% jump from then 2015, and one of the highest numbers in the last decade. So that means that Obama saw his time coming, and he saw that the Democratic Party was doing really, really bad. And in turn, he tried his hardest to legalize as many illegal immigrants as he could, this way giving the Democratic Party brand new voters come 2016. which didn't work. They still lost the election, but it goes to show you the length that these people are going to go to ensure that they remain in power. The study also says that Mexico is one of the highest countries in which we get chain migration participants. Yes, we already know that. But what I find a little bit more disturbing is that each new illegal immigrant sponsored 6.38 additional illegal immigrants when they came here. So for every one immigrant that is illegally here in the country, if they obtain citizenship through amnesty, they will bring in 6 more illegal immigrants with them. This is why we need extreme and radical change within our immigration system. Because numbers like this, when you going up to the 15 million illegal immigrants within the country, numbers like that could literally cause such huge social alienation within the country that is basically trying to push to civil war at that point. You see, but it's not only the cultural effects that such mass immigration has, it is also economically damaging to our economy. One of the most overlooked ways in which immigration harms the American workforce is displacement. That is when natives lose their jobs to recent immigrants who will look for substandard wages. Sometimes the employer initially replaces natives with immigrants to have a cheaper, more easily exploited workforce. Sometimes the displacement comes through an intermediary. In these cases, work may be delegated to the subcontractors, the firms that use immigrants and pay them low wages, underbite other subcontractors that use natives. In some cases, the ultimate employer may not be even aware that native workers have been displaced. Regardless, the effects on Americans are real. As the Immigration and Naturalization Service puts it, the critical potential negative impacts of immigrants are displacement of incumbent worker groups from their jobs and wage depression for those who remain in the affected sectors. Basically meaning that these illegal immigrants that are coming into the country are going to be heavily desired by many business owners because these business owners can pay them little to nothing. So if you have an amnesty for 10, 12, 15 million people, how many illegal immigrants are in the country? If you give them all amnesty, we will go right into a brand new Great Depression because you will have millions of people out of work because these companies can hire these illegal immigrants and pay them scraps. That is the economic problem that comes along with emitting and legalizing so many millions and millions of people who in honesty has no respect for the American people nor the American culture and way of doing things. And in a lot of cases, a lot of these immigrants are still very loyal to Mexico. It's like that dumb bitch who was appointed to the government service in California. She was caught saying about how much she really misses Mexico and how she wishes she can go back. How many millions of immigrants do you think feel that same way? That they miss Mexico, that they want to go back? A lot of these DACA recipients, these deferred action for childhood arrivals, a lot of them came when they were like 10, 11, 12, 13, upwards to 16 years old. So they weren't little babies. They knew a different land besides America. And in a lot of times, they miss that land a lot. They want to go back. But their parents bring them here because their parents believe that these kids will automatically have a better opportunity here in America than in Mexico. Now that might be the case because we all know Mexico is a shithole, and most likely the rest of Latin America, but the problem is the overregard of disrespect to the American people and the American culture. You see, if these people want to be here so fucking badly, then maybe they should make an effort to, one, try to learn the fucking language that the vast majority of Americans speak, which is English, and two, have a bit of respect for our culture and our way of doing things. If you look at these illegal immigrants protesting out in the streets, you see them protesting and burning the American flag. You see them protesting with their own Mexico flag. So what does that tell me about their loyalties to America? It tells me they don't have any loyalty to America whatsoever. One group of people that I don't understand why aren't they calling out illegal immigration is the Black community. Because the Black community is overwhelmingly going to be affected extremely negatively if these DACA immigrants get their amnesty. Because a lot of these illegal immigrants are residing in very poor inner city neighborhoods. And since Black people have already a stereotype against them of being loud, obnoxious, not good workers, and what have you, employers are going to look towards greener pastures, which is these new legalized immigrants in America. So not only does legalizing these citizens damage the entire American population or workforce as a whole, it affects the black community disproportionately. And it's something we don't need to stand for. It is something that we need to stop. Now, I don't know what Trump is doing in office, and so far I've been in complete support of him and his fight against illegal immigration. But I think he needs to do a little bit more. He needs to fund ICE more. He needs to fund these immigration agencies so they can get the job done and they can deport more people. We have to stop this amnesty at any cost because it will throw America back into a new Great Depression. But that's it for this video. Peace out, guys.